Welcome to Beyond the Veil with Adina here on YouTube. I am Adina. Nice to meet you if you're new around these parts. I am your hostess with the mostest around here, as well as your resident medium, woo lady, wise woman, prophetess, priestess, seer, whatever, psychic, whatever you guys call us these days. And I do all of those things here on this channel. So if you're new and that's not your thing, I just invite you to leave just as peacefully as you've come so that you don't disrespect or disturb my community or yourself. And if you are into that kind of thing, you're invited to stay and make yourself at home. To all of my regular viewers, subscribers, OG watchers, return viewers, busted babies, and everything else in between, welcome back to Beyond the Veil with Adina. Happy Monday, happy day of the moon to all of you. Come on in. YouTube, if you could be so gracious as to notify all of my subscribers and let them know that I'm live. Do not punish me for being gone for a few days, YouTube. That's how you guys do. But I am back. I even checked in while I was away so that YouTube didn't punish me too hard. Hello, Sammy. Hi, Adorned. How you guys doing? My weekend was good, thank you. Sammy, how was yours? Hey, Angel. How you doing? Excuse me real quick. Hey, TFD555. Aw, thanks for joining me fresh off of your nap. I'm grateful for all of you who are joining me and who will be joining me, and everybody who will be watching later in the replay gang. Thank you for your time and your energy and your presence here with me. Hey, Mama Fakit, how are you? You guys good? Okay. I'm pretty good, Tiara. Thank you. I'm going to do a members live immediately after this so that I can tell you guys some of the things that I want to share. I have my own personal testimony, and I don't want to be that personal or vulnerable with the whole public. I only do that with my members. So we'll do a members live because there is a message that I gathered from this weekend, and I am a living testimony of sorts. So I'm going to pass it on to you guys, a life experience that I will be passing on to you guys, and hopefully you guys can gain something from it. That's what life is about. Learning lessons and then passing it on. At least that's what my life is like. So anyways, we'll be doing that immediately after here. I won't be doing a reclaiming live with a president tonight because I just kind of want to level with you guys for a moment. But anyways, for now, I have titled this live Let's Chat, so you guys know what that means. That means you guys put into the chat what you guys would like me to do a quick little reading on really quick, and I'll do it. I won't turn anybody down. I think I might turn you down, but as of now, I don't think I'll turn anyone down. I'm doing this because I'm not prepared. I came back from out of town and had to get straight to work, and I bought a bushel of raw green peanuts because they're the best kind to boil. And I dished a bunch out to my relatives. I gave my sisters a bag out of it, my aunts and uncles. I got a pot on the stove, and I still have enough for 2 pots of boiled peanuts. Mariah Carey's health, is she on death's door? Hold on, Angel. I don't want to read that. I don't want to do that. Don't want to do that one. Give me another one. I don't want to do a reading on anyone's health at this moment. Um, so, yeah, I'm going to skip that one. Is Rihanna forced to be out and about? She used to be in the house. Okay, I'll do that one. I remember you kind of asked me to do that before. You asked me a few days ago to do that. The only reason I'm not doing anybody's health is because, like, I am like trying to take it easy on myself. The past few weeks have been really stressful, and um, I just don't want to read anybody's health because I kind of been chilling and kind of trying to watch out for my own health these days. And so yeah, and I had kind of like an emotional weekend that kind of ties into health. Is actually what I was going to be talking about, trauma and health with you guys. Um, so I don't want to read on her, but I'll read on myself. I mean, I won't read on myself, but I'm going to be talking about something similar like that, but from my own perspective. So I don't want to read on anybody's health because I'm chilling right now when it comes to health and trying to give my body grace, which is another reason why I'm not doing any necromancy today. I'm not sick or anything, but when I've been stressed out, my body reacts differently to it these days because a girl has lived a very unique life, and all that stress is catching up to my body. And I just don't want to read on her health or if she's about to die, because that'll work me up in a way. And I'm just trying to chill. But let's see about Rihanna. Thank you, Angel. All right, let's see. Most High Mother. Now, I feel like you guys probably know the answer to this, or at least those of you guys who aren't new around here, because I think the last time I kind of talked about Rihanna and or read on Rihanna and or Rocky, the vision I kind of got from where they were at the moment was that you know, when I first created my membership tiers, I did a series of readings that were members only, and then I released them, and Rihanna was one of them. I think that was my first time reading on her. And I talked about why people need to just be okay with her not being in the industry, what she may or may not have been running away from within the music industry, and how branching out into other industries might have created avenues for her that other people couldn't really take from her. And I think I did that last year sometime, or maybe even the year before last. So I'll say that's that. You guys can revisit that because it is a regular video. I don't know if it was a live or it was a recorded video. And the thumbnail I used was the photo of Rihanna's anti-cover with her and the balloon, I think. So go revisit that. But also, recently I was talking about how, Rihanna had been in Barbados and she had been away from the industry. And as soon as she got back to the States, there was that, quote unquote shooting at her house. And then at the Met Gala, I was saying that they were going to try to kind of poach her from A$AP Rocky if they couldn't really get into her, because he might be a little thirsty for, the new benefits of being Rihanna's significant other. So stumbling around, had to double bodyguards, very shaky footed. The streets been talking about Mariah and her alcoholism. They've been talking about Mariah and her alcoholism forever. But let's see. Most High Mother and Father God, please allow me to conjure up the spirit, soul, and collective energy of Robin Rihanna Fenty. The Knight of Pentacles just flipped up, so I feel like Rihanna is probably fulfilling duties or obligations in some way that she feels like she has to. I put it back in so that I could shuffle, but it was the first thing that flipped up. All right, Rihanna. Lately, have you been under any pressure to work for anyone or do things that you may not want to do? As far as your career or any part of your life is concerned, are you under any pressure, or is your new um, support and affiliation with Jay-Z after rumors of trouble in you guys' relationship? Are you guys good? Is everything good over there at Rock Nation, or are you being forced in any way to show your support publicly? Hold on a second. Okay. What? Okay. All right. Hey, Lux Life. Hey, celebrity. Yeah, I had to sneak and show them because they probably wouldn't have consented if I didn't sneak. But thank you. All right, Rihanna, what's going on? So I don't think that Rihanna wants to show her support. But I think that there is a more significant hand in her life that may be in some way stopping other streams of income, or like I said, I felt like Rihanna was trying to set up other streams for herself that other people couldn't touch. I think all of those exit routes that she set up for herself that other people couldn't touch are being touched. Now, I think it was just put out that as a rumor, or maybe something that's true, that Jay-Z was going to be purchasing a part of Fenty or her Fenty brand in some way. So in my mind, her home allegedly got shot up. Her brand, her Fenty brand, that is hers outside of Rock Nation and any obligations to Jay-Z, now he has his hand in it, stopping those other streams that she may have set up for herself. So I'll just say that is how I interpret this Ace of Cups in reverse in the present position. Challenging a fire sign. This is Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. Now, who do we know that's a fire sign that could be challenging her? And this fire sign isn't in a benevolent position. It comes up in the position that I pull for what is challenging or opposing her at this moment. So since there is rumors that Jay-Z wants to purchase some of her Fenty, then I would say that he fits the Sagittarius element that would have his hands in her other streams of income in other areas of her life that she set up away from them. Now, he doesn't show up as a king, which he usually does or has in the past. In her reading, he shows up as a knight. Knights are action-oriented cards in the deck. So that means that Jay-Z is working, or he's on the move for some reason. He's no longer seated like a king would be, and who would have knights to do, the bidding for him. Jay-Z has to come off of his throne and get active these days. The only time a king gets off of his throne and goes into battle, well, as if he's just a valiant soldier. But in this case, he's challenging her, and he shows up as a king in her, a knight in her life. So in my mind, he's challenging her because he no longer has the position he once did. So now he's on the move. He has to hustle, and maybe, just maybe, he's drawing on Rihanna's support. But that poses a challenge to her. Past position. I think she wanted no parts of this Sagittarius. I think she demoted this fire sign because before you can become a knight, you have to be a page and then a king. So in the past, I think she put this person in the past and demoted him in her life. In fact, she didn't want him to have his wand upright in her life in whatever way. Wands can also be business. So this makes me think that Rihanna set up other streams of income for herself that had nothing to do with this wand, this page. And now he's on his horse and ready for war, challenging her. Future. Well, I said that when I was just shuffling, I got the Knight of Pentacles. I pulled it upright, and I said then that I felt like she was feeling duties and obligations that she might feel like she has to. Nine of Pentacles in reverse in her future. I still think that she's fulfilling duties and obligations, but this tells me stubbornly, begrudgingly. If I just put all of this together and I'm asking about, is anyone forcing Rihanna, or is she doing this out of genuine support? I would say I don't think she's doing it out of genuine support, and I think she's doing it despite what she wants to do, which is not support or have anything to do with whomever this fire sign is. Crowning Rihanna, the sun, her public support. Show up publicly and look fucking happy. Think about your children, is what I hear in my mind. Show up, look happy, think about your children. And so we show up and look happy at the World Cup finale and on the stage, yodeling off key, looking fabulous, might I say. I think she looked good. So below. I think she doesn't want to show support. The Six of Wands is publicity. It's being seen or recognized publicly. In reverse, it could be public shame, or it could just be the opposite, not wanting to show support publicly. It's also having to go back into a den of wolves that you already overcome. I don't think Rihanna wants to do any business with Jay-Z, but I think she fears that if she doesn't show up for him, then he will have his hand in her Fenty and maybe buy it or take it from her. And then she still has to work for him in some way, or she has to go and try to rebrand somewhere else. But you don't get that lucky twice in this industry like that. External to her, this is how people see her. And I think a lot of people think that there is a reason she's showing up with him, but this actually is the machine. So Rihanna actually has a lot of, in my opinion, the machine doing a lot of smear campaigns on her and setting her up in other ways to be ridiculed and mocked in the public, including putting out that they were going to sign Tyla, when I think they also had a hand in boosting her up as an anti to Rihanna. I think it's 50-50. Some people who would like to just be a fan are just like, yay, The Rock is back. But then, there are people who are like, Rihanna, blink once if you need help. Her hopes and fears. Rihanna, I will say that there is no more growth for her, no more opportunity for her working with Roc Nation. In fact, I think Rihanna is afraid that all of her ways out are being siphoned, and wherever she is, she can no longer grow. Um, I would say that somebody has their hand in Rihanna's business, and that's why she is showing up. They're meddling into the life that she created for herself outside of The Rock, and I think that is why she's showing her public support. And somebody's able to pull Rihanna's strings. Somebody has ASAP Rocky in a bind as well as Rihanna in a bind, so they can pull both of their strings, which is why you see ASAP showing up to all the things and playing along with Rihanna instead of hiding her out in Barbados and keeping her safe. Next. Oprah. Anything about her specifically, or you just want to check up on her? I'll do Oprah. Just let me know before I go. Is there anything in specific? Celebrity Tarot, is you Oprah? I feel like you asked me about Oprah before. Either you as Oprah or you Stedman. Okay. So you just want to see her go down. You know what? Waiting to see people go down is always a little bit tricky because these people do have battles to fight, but sometimes they're so well insulated that we just can't see them. It doesn't mean that they're not fighting for their life, but they still have enough resources to insulate themselves from the public. And as long as the public doesn't see it, then they can live on and play their charade another day. All right, let's see. Depending on how you ask or what you ask, everybody is filthy in their energy in some way, depending on what you ask and, what you're looking to see in their energy. You'll find some filth in everybody, but is all her energy filthy? I don't know if I've ever felt around for that, because when I read people, I don't actually go in, I don't want to say that judgmental, but that judgmental. I'm really just going in to look around and observe, and then, you know, tell you guys what I see, because that's what I said I was going to do. But I've read so many people, from this industry. This I've read Dead Alive. I've read some of everybody, and I've seen some of who have been known to be the worst people, the most hated people, the most beloved people. And what I've seen is a commonality amongst everybody are humans, or human-ish people, half humans. Nevertheless, a bunch of human stuff. Um, and what I consider filthy has to do more with nature and then nurture, how you nurture your nature. Um, um, I try not to judge people and who they are at the moment or who they could be, because everybody can display good or evil. But some people's nature is just, to be a vagabond. to be a parasite. Those are the people that I consider filthy. Um, they're like low vibrational entities walking around here, and all they know is low vibration. That could also be your family member. That could be the person who grew up in your neighborhood projects. And poverty can make somebody filthy. So, uh, uh, for me to call someone filthy, there are things that have to be weighed in the balance, and I'm a Libra. So, I don't really look at one or two things. I kind of weigh it all in the balance. And then if the good outweighs the bad, then I just say that you tend to lay towards, the side that's kind of low vibrational and negative, or, somebody that is a parasite in some way. Capitalists. I think that that's low vibrational. People who consistently look for ways to gain at the detriment of others just because of their one lack of knowledge. A capitalist is a capitalist not just because they pulled themselves up by the bootstraps and you didn't, but because they know they are inside of the gates that are kept, and they get to benefit from the gates being closed off to everybody else. And so I think that's filthy, because you know good and goddamn well that the playing field isn't equal, and that the opportunities that you may have stumbled upon aren't there for everyone. But they play that game and say, it's just opportunity. Everybody has the same 24. Everybody isn't walking around here with billionaires, and everybody doesn't even know what it takes to get in those rooms. And maybe if they did, more people would be in proximity to you. So I mean, it just depends on your nature, is what I would call filthy. All right. Most High Mother and Father God. And I don't think I've spent enough time in Oprah's energy. And I can't judge by just what I know as somebody who knows her as a public figure. I got to be in your energy. And then I could tell you what I think. Do I think she's a lesbian? Yes. An old school one. She said her and Gail became besties when it was a storm. Gail let her stay at her house and they shared panties. And I read between the lines in that. I read an old lesbian. So in my mind, they shared panties literally. And it was on and popping from then. Those is Oprah's words, though. She said they got stormed in together and Gail let her wear some of her panties. I said a little cooch on cooch, Axton. A little, oh, and then next thing you know, ah, it's a storm. Ah, it's raining. Ah. Like I had no idea the rain meant ah, but we do be hunching when it rains, so I guess, child. But I just didn't know what a storm had to do with needing to share the girl panties. Anyways, it's raining. Help! I need shelter in your drawers. I mean, okay, enough of that. Okay, Celebrity Tarot. Well, Stedman, I thank you for that insider information. Thank you, Stedman, for being a busset, baby. Yes, come and spill all Ogre's tea. Stedman, please, and tell me about your man, too. Everybody give it up for Stedman in the chat. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay. Child, but listen, you cannot tell. I know Stedman is a messy queen because him and Oprah been lavender with each other forever. And I don't think Oprah can tolerate no man like that unless they good Judies. So I know Stedman is a good Judy and he is a key, just like Tyler. I think they all get together, Gail, Tyler, Stedman, and Oprah, and ooh, the tea they be spilling, the shit they be talking, the bags they be stopping, bitch. Child. I bet they secretly and privately fund all kind of LGBTQ initiatives and charities and organizations and child, child. I bet Tyler learned how to keep his accusers at bay from Oprah. Bitch, you don't come for Oprah like that. She taught Stedman how to keep them skeletons, and Tyler how to keep them. And if you can't keep them in the closet, keep them from winning. And then you go and you continue to, donate to black causes and make great black television while you fight them cases, even if they come up every day and they all saying the same thing and they all look the same and they all look like the men that you cast, and it kind of rings true. Keep doing shit, distract the niggas, keep giving them money. Just keep pumping money into the niggas and they ain't gonna get no fuck. They gonna support you, nigga. Just get a nigga some money. You know that's something. You know. Just get them niggas a couple dollars. I'm sorry. But Jesse Jackson, I just got that image of him and Tyler Perry standing in between Nolan Wells' mother and talking about that bounty that they have for information. And all I could think about was, bitch, Reverend Sharpton, not Jesse Jackson, Reverend Sharpton, who did your hair? It looked very smooth. He had like a swoop bang angle a little bit, a little something going like a little. It kind, I don't know, something about it gave me bang. I was like, okay, Alicia, mm-mm, mm-mm. I said, well, I understand what y'all doing, but your hair, who swooped it like that? Who laid it down that flat like that? It like you got a fresh perm, like a perm or a silk. Somebody silk pressed that swoop. Yes, I said, look at Alicia Sharpton. That bang is Sharpton. That bang is Sharpton. I was distracted. I'm sorry, just like I just got distracted because Tyler Perry and Al Sharpton and Oprah and Stedman and all child. Celebrity tarot. Okay, let me get into Oprah. Okay, Al. Was it a bang? It was a bang. I'm just going a brush to the front bang or a swoop. It was one of them. It was either brush to the front or it was kind of brush to the front, or it was maybe he had like a side part and it was just laid like that. But listen, I was admiring it because the hair looked like it was silk pressed or something. I said, bitch, I know that's right. It may just be a little bit of hair up there, but you got that bitch fried, dyed, and laid to the side. I know that's motherfucking right. You won't let Mrs. Wells outdo you with her silky wet and wavy. No, you won't. You've been doing this for a long time, ain't it? You've been showing bitches up for a long time, Al Sharpton. I know that's right. I know that's motherfucking right. Most High Mother and Father God, please allow me to conjure up the spirit, soul, and collective energy of Oprah Winfrey. Mm-hmm. The people want her. The people want her. Oprah say, why are you all interrupting me while I'm sneaking my bread? You know I love bread. That's just what came to my mind. Why are you all disturbing me while I'm trying to sneak in the closet and eat my bread? It's bread and Ozempic. I found a way that I can eat the bread and not get fat anymore. Oh, it's life-changing. Not Ozempic, but it's something else. CLP 13 dash something. I don't know. They taking something new, but she can eat the bread. Because y'all know Oprah has been telling us about her struggles with her weight and how she loves bread. And I think that she's indulging in the bread because they have all these new things now that you can take, and it just whoosh washes the bread off the bones. It's like you eat it, put it on the bone, pop that thing, inject that thing, and it fall off the bone. Now, Oprah, I didn't want to disturb you and your biscuits, but Celebrity Tarot, you Stedman in the guest house acting a fool in the chat. So this sounds like a call coming from the house, but we gonna do it anyways. Oprah, what's going on in your life currently? What's going on in your life currently, Oprah? The people want to know, is Oprah going down anytime soon, Spirit, for anything? The people want to know if Oprah has any shenanigans in her closet that is going to take her down. In the next 5 years, will Oprah be on the chopping block for being outcast as an elite? I'll put it that way. Within the next 5 years, Spirit, will Oprah still be a gatekeeper, an eliter? Oprah's insulated. You guys, Oprah ain't regular. She is valuable. She is an asset, is what I hear in my mind. Oprah is an asset. And I take that to mean asset, just the way I hear it. An asset. You know, they use those terms in the military sometimes, in the government, and the CIA and stuff like that. Oprah is an asset. She serves a purpose and she serves it well. In my mind, there's not one thing that they could take Oprah down for that only she would go down for. That's why she's insulated. Anything that they could pull her down for, it would also pull others down. She doesn't have one thing that would only disrupt her. All right, Oprah. Spirit, Oprah, will you be going down publicly? Will you face any public shame or loss of status within the next 5 years? The Hermit. Is Oprah in the U.S.? Everybody's looking, in my opinion, at overseas just in case. But Oprah is not new to this. We know this. Thank you, JC 1069. Was it Oprah and her biscuits, or was it Stedman being in the chat spilling tea or asking for tea to just be spilled? It had to be me apologizing for disturbing Oprah and her biscuits. Or was it when I said, how in the hell did a storm turn into scissors? Which one was it that made you subscribe? Because I've been tripping for the last 15 minutes. And if you didn't subscribe, that means you be tripping right along with me. Well, welcome to the Nut House. It's fun in here. I don't even give y'all pharmaceuticals. We just get high on weed in this house. And that's what makes us happy. And we be knowing shit, because the weed be letting us know. We don't pop that other loopy shit. The nurses come in and bring you blunts. Yes. Yes. We got a bar over there. Yes. We got a bar, a live band, and everything in this nut house, child. Yeah. And y'all be the ones that say lock the door. I say y'all can leave, but y'all be like, lock the door. Lock it. We love it here. The head nut in charge. You're welcome. Oprah's tried and true. And she fly above. She fly above all her haters. And she's been flying above for a long time. And I think that Oprah is an asset. I think she's beyond just the industry. I think she's an asset in some kind of. Oprah ain't just Hollywood. Um, so I don't know. This ain't looking too good. This gives me Oprah is seasoned. She's the OG. She's seasoned. Also, something about her is a slave because the star is here, and the star card is an Aquarius card, but the star is in a cage here. Um, so Oprah is sold out a long time ago. She's deep. She's in the deep state, I actually think, in some way. Um, this just doesn't look good for a takedown for Oprah, but let's see. Challenging her, staying out of jail. Oprah is a G on staying out of jail, staying out of shit that could take her down. And she's been close to it before. But that kind of happened only on certain blog sites and message boards. And then those got scrubbed. And then those people were called conspiracy theorists. Let me tell you guys, I told you guys before that I saw the Epstein files in one of those early internet um, message boards in the early 2000s, um, when somebody was leaking them. That's probably when the feds got their hands on them, because somebody, it wasn't the Epstein files, it was the flight logs back then that were being released, and some of his emails, Epstein and others' emails. So it wasn't the compilation of the files because the government hadn't compiled them yet. What was released back then on those message boards was the flight logs and some emails, um, but those were related to the case that he already went down for because he was a registered offender. Um, Now, the flight logs is where people get to, saying certain people were in the Epstein files, the flight logs and the emails. A little off subject, but you guys want to know a Jedi mind trick that, in my opinion, and this is all alleged according to my crazy ass opinion, and I smoke weed and read cards, so I'm crazy, should not be taken seriously. Jay-Z and Beyonce. Now, when the Epstein files first came out in this recent exposure, um, their names were brought up in it. Their names were brought up in it before reports came out that somebody called and reported, was who else, Charlemagne or somebody, one a low level rapper or somebody, and then they disproved that. Do I think somebody? I think that was the Jedi mind trick, because once that happened and it proved to be ridiculous, then they kind of wrapped up their entire involvement in the flight logs under that little one thing. Could they have set that up themselves? Yes. The call was so outlandish and outrageous, it made no sense to me. As somebody who saw the flight logs in the early 2000s, did I see Jay-Z and Beyonce's name on the flight logs? I did. With my own eyes, I did. In the early 2000s, I did. Does that mean they did anything nefarious? No. Because a lot of people took flights on that man's jet. Would I have said that if I knew I didn't do anything, but I was on there? Yes. But instead, once people start saying that they were on there, then all of a sudden there's this false claim about them that was so outlandish. And then their whole affiliation with it kind of got thrown out the window with that one thing. But people forget that they were brought up in the flight logs before then. That little call about Jay-Z being in some other rapper being involved that was proven false happened later. I'm saying I did see them on the flight logs, and I didn't think anything of it back then. because in the message boards and on the now those sites aren't even around anymore. This is the OG days. It wasn't like they were trying to say that everybody did something like they are today, and that kind of mixes up the truth in a lie. They weren't saying that then. People had just leaked the flight logs and people were on them, and people knew that man and that he chartered people on that plane. So even back then, not everybody was looking at people like Jay-Z and Beyonce. Those message boards came from people who are responsible for bringing you guys some of the disclosures that you have today. They were digging into the real shit, not the celebrities. So I know I'm reading Oprah, but they pulled the Jedi mind trick, and you would have had to have been there when the original documents were being leaked on the internet to be able to see how people are pulling Jedi mind tricks today, now that the government has gotten them, redacted things, and found a way to excuse things and lie to you all about it. I say that because I mentioned how Oprah already evaded an almost going to jail situation. And I spoke about that too. I think it was in but sometime between 2016 and 2018. There were pictures of certain celebrities with ankle monitors. That wasn't AI back then. That wasn't AI. They chalked that up to conspiracy theorists. The same people who are telling the same information that they are now copping to. Although copping is some of it. Copping is some of it. Oprah was one of those people. Oprah, Ellen, before she hauled ass. You know, Beyonce and Jay-Z was looking to leave the States too. It was alleged. Now, all of that happened when Trump came in office, and that because that was Operation Drain the Old Swamp. It was a little war going on between them. So these were all people who were affiliated with each other, now at war with each other. That's exactly what that was, and that's none of them are either less guilty or more guilty. So Oprah has been able to evade. At this stage, she's not touchable. That's just how I'm feeling it. She's not touchable because she's already evaded the worst thing that she could be taken down for, and a lot of them have. And I say them because she was in a part of that of a group of them. But they skated. And fun fact, that's why you guys got a Biden administration. Block was too hot with Trump. He was willing to drain the swamp because he knew that his involvement wasn't worse than the people that you all that were American heroes. And he had other allies that had helped him win the presidency. So this was I'm now on a new team and they protected me so I can drain the swamp and leave y'all out to dry. Bitch, them people barely escaped. And then as soon as that first term was up, they pulled every string they could to get another bitch in there and then went after Trump again. Why? Because he went after them. Anyways, past position for Oprah. Almost did. Look, almost went down with the death card, but it's in reverse. Challenging her, staying out of prison. But this tells me she already avoided. And I'm telling you guys, if you guys accepted them disclosing the Epstein files, then you're never going to get justice for the things that you think you want justice for. Because some people beat it. They beat it already. They done beat it. That's why they gave y'all the files now. You had to have been there when they was being leaked and people were being targeted, unalived even. Message boards disappear. Who was that disappeared and hasn't been seen again? Was it Black Child on YouTube? I don't remember, but that was a big thing too because he was one of the first YouTube or one of the first early YouTube pages that was exposing this stuff, and he disappeared. And that was on the message boards too. Everybody was wondering what happened to him, and it was all these rumors because he just fell off the face of the earth. Didn't update anybody, hasn't been seen, heard anything publicly since then. Just child, it was crazy back then. And I was just all in rabbit holes back then. Just I don't even remember how I was getting there, but it was purpose for me to learn that stuff back then because even I didn't know what I'd be doing today, but you had to see it then and see it now to say, oh, bitch. And now they got everybody wrapped up in a virtual reality online. So anybody, they tell y'all anything and give y'all the evidence too. All of it's doctored, all of it's technologically, man, they so good now. So listen, she almost went down, but she skated. And I'm going to tell y'all who was responsible for making her almost go down. President Trump. When he got that second term, they said, okay, now, all right, now we might have to pay to play with him or just run. Because if he pulled off a second term, that bitch got power behind him. We might be in trouble. And we already know he petty. He gonna come for his lick back. Child. Ellen got the hell out of Dodge. If she paid enough, I told y'all before, it was get down and lay down with Trump. I told y'all in a reading before, if you pay, you might. But what if you decide to be petty and put a price on it that's going to bankrupt you? What if you pay me for a pardon, but that means all your wealth is gone? Or take your bets. Don't be getting on here preaching on my platform. Get your ass out of here. Don't be trying to poach my subscribers. They don't want to hear that shit. Not from you. Never look back. She be looking, but she be peeking in the bushes. Yeah. Anyways, future for Okra. She good, y'all. No. Listen, it's a different game. The opportunity to take them down has gone. It's gone. For what she could have been taken down for, now that everything's fixed, people ain't going nowhere. That's why when they brought the Clintons up in there, them people laughed all in their face and said, let's do a discovery then. Oh, y'all don't want to do it no more? Oh, okay, bye. They was like, I don't even know why y'all playing with us, and y'all already know. We done sold this shit up and we not going down because all us gonna go down. Not just all of us, the system. Not just all of the system in the US, the beast system in the world, Craig. The world. The matrix would crumble. So let's play discovery, guys. Y'all wanna do it? Oh, okay, bye. They did that big bitch because they tried. But the American people wanted Trump's head on a platter. They couldn't understand what he was doing back then. Now, I'm not rooting for him. I told y'all this years ago that I wasn't rooting for him when I told y'all that he was draining the swamp, and I only supported freeing the children. I didn't care who did it. I didn't care who did it. Even somebody that might have messed with a couple, if he decided to free the children today, for whatever reason, free the children and we'll deal with everything else later, but free the children. And for their own petty reasons, some of the children were supposed to be freed, but that was messing up the church's money. It's bigger than just what you think it is, just trafficking. Trafficking is, ask yourself for what? Just fucking? Is that it? So, they used the media against Trump and it worked. He couldn't get too much done. And then as soon as his term was up, they descended on his ass and tried to make sure he was unseen of or unheard from again and gave y'all all his tea. after they had been able to clean up theirs behind the scenes. And now we present you with the shit that we almost went to jail for. Here you go. So, death in reverse, that means a death averted. And in the near future, shit's gonna continue to run smoothly around those parts. Why? Because the cleanup job has already been done, and it's like their dirty hands have been clean now, as far as being able to be prosecuted by any government that you're going to get. You guys are asking for justice from who? You want crooks to take down crooks? If Oprah was a Diddy, maybe, but this ain't that. Who do y'all want to take her down? Them? You want justice from the United States Justice Department? Yes. Message to the blacks. This ain't that. They have used the Lord's name in vain. They have said, we stand for justice, and that is not what you get around these parts. But yeah, no, she good. Now I'm gonna keep going to the outcome, but this whole reading is bitch. The things that have been exposed about me on the internet are out there. So that's crowning her. All the rumors and all the conspiracies, the ones that she could go down for, they tried. Look, now who is this? The president. He tried. As soon as he got in that chair and got seated, whoever was backing him, they said we got to drain the swamp. Because them people ain't going to like that you beat them in the presidency. So they're going to use it against you. So we just got to go ahead and drain the swamp. And you didn't do what those people did. You ain't the worst of them. You ain't even the worst of the former presidents. And so he said, bet, let's do it. I know I ain't did certain shit. I know I ain't did certain shit that they was doing. So let's go. And as soon as he got out, what did they do? Get his ass back. Yes, yes, yes. So you can see things like this if you're not emotional. But people be thinking, everybody thinks that their opinions and their ideas and perspectives are their own. And in my life, that's what makes me feel like the hermit myself. Because from where I can see, no, they're not. I've had to have reality checks with myself in order to get to the point where I can do these readings without having my emotions get in the way or biases or ideas that are not my own. So I'm going to say, and I've had extensive, not collegiate, well, I did take a free um, Ivy League psychology course, but in high school, I had to take psychology courses. It was a part of my um, college prep. I took psychology 1, 2, and 3. All 4 years of high school, I took psychology. Now, that was offered in high school. So, there are some things that we were learning about human psychology even in high school. So, I'm not even drawing from anything else other than what I learned in high school. And that is we have to constantly be searching for the truest version of ourselves because from the minute we're born, our minds are being molded by our parents. And then you have all kinds of external influences and inputs, your teachers, your child. So adults are responsible for rearing your mind. If you don't think your mind is being reared by music, images, sounds, smells, people, their projections, their experiences, their ideas. If somebody's having a bad day and you come encounter with them and you are on the bad end of their bad day, then how does their reality and what they're going through, how is that not projected on you? If you have a negative interaction with that person, when you woke up, you were in a great mood. that person woke up and was having a bad day because you guys crossed paths and you actually just so happened to brush up against them and they didn't want to be touched and then they pushed you and now you got to push them back and you're in a fisticuff and the police came and both of you guys are charged with public indecency or whatever, and all you knew is I had a great day, I accidentally bumped into this person, I tried to apologize but they was on one. That is somebody else's reality now changing, shaping yours. You get into a relationship, you fall in love, something traumatic happens that causes you to break up. You go through a period of bitterness. That one relationship could alter your whole idea of relationships. And from that relationship on, you could be judging every other new person based on that experience. So I say that to say the media, will any repercussions happen? Like what? Like what kind of repercussions? You'd have to be specific because I think what people want to see is the version of karma that they believe should happen to someone. I'm trying to shift that mind frame because if you don't look for a version of karma on someone and just look at them as a whole, then you'll see that a person isn't always doing good. That, yes, okay, I get, okay, that's what you want. You want to see her go down, like you've seen like a Diddy go down or Epstein or something like that. That's what I'm reading on. So far, no. So far, what I have is that could have happened. I brought up the public and how the media was used to help avert that because the media was employed. When Trump was trying to do this, and I'm not championing him. You guys asked me a question and I'm divining what I see, not caring about who the person is. He tried to. He tried to. I saw pictures of Ellen with an ankle monitor on as well. So it didn't surprise me when she got out of Dodge because I saw those pictures of her being that leaked with her with the ankle monitor on and they were wearing all kinds of things. I saw Hillary with one. So one could say that those pictures were doctored, fine, sure. But I'm telling you what I have read today and what I've read before. That, in my opinion, was a real situation. They were being tried silently. That was not going to go down publicly. Nope, 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 nope. It was a silent war. It was a war going on, and the public was employed against the person who was trying to take them down. But they had the power of the public. A lot of those people are well liked and they have a lot of connections in this realm that Trump didn't have because he wasn't a politician before. He just became a politician, so he's playing a different game. They employed the media on him. They did the smear campaign, and not to say that people didn't buy into it for good reason, but nobody could see what he was doing because nobody even wanted to. I just stayed quiet and hope for the best for the children because none of these people are good people. But in a war, the children benefited from that war. Didn't matter who was the one to free them or what they did before or what their intentions for freeing them. If they only tried to do certain things to get back at someone, victims could have benefited if he was allowed to do what he was trying to do. All right. And I think that Israel might have tempered his hand. I don't think that they had a hand in him becoming president the first time. I think some other people did. And I think when he showed out like that, and that's how he didn't win his second term. And then, but right before he got inaugurated, there was that shooting scare. They could have shot him if they wanted to. That was a warning. Don't try that shit no more. So now we have a situation of pay to play. Because he can't go after them like he did before. His life is on the line, in my opinion. So now all he can do is a little bit of, in my opinion, extortion. Current actions for Okra. Three of Swords. There have and probably will continue to be accusations about Okra. Ironically, you guys asked me about Mariah's health. I'm concerned about hers because that situation that they went through would have done a number on her. It would have made her afraid. And again, I'm getting ready in my members live to talk about how severe stress, anxiety, grief, anything like that, or having to live a life of doing shit and then having to almost get caught for some of the nastiest things in the world. At her age, I think, I'm going to give you something to make you feel better. Just let me get to the outcome before I give you a definite. But I'm going to give you a new perspective so that you will be able to see what you need to see and feel better about it. I'm going to give you that. I have peace about all these people because when I read them, first and foremost, a loss of self-sovereignty is a death sentence. It's worse than death because death frees you from any obligations of this life. But when you sell your soul, even some contractual obligations, I talked about contracts and consent and how celebrities sign contracts that keep them bound to contracts even after their death. Those contracts are worded that way for a reason because they understand reincarnation and they understand the element of leaving this body and then being no longer charged or condemned with anything that you did in this life. And the idea of being punished for it is false. Punishment comes from the things that you punish yourself for, even in death, because you will go with some regrets when you get on the other side and find yourself not in a heaven or a hell, but in front of a mirror of yourself. And then when somebody finds that there's no devil to blame their wrongdoings on when they die, they have to account. And there was no devil or no God, not in the way that they thought it was. Then you choose to go back so that you can try it again. But life is tricky because you go into another body as a baby. And then you got a whole new set of challenges that you got to hope that you find the clues that your highest self is bringing you to, and that's called intuition. But life is going to tell you not to listen to it. Life is going to tell you that that's a voice in your head. Life is going to tell you that the practices and the tools that help you train that inner voice is witchcraft. Life is going to tell you that your afterlife and your current life are parallel, and you can actually be active in both at the same time. They tell you that's witchcraft. I say that to say, when you look at it from a soul's perspective, then you see these people as damned. You do. Look at them from their soul's perspective. Look at them outside of just this lifetime, but the fact that the decisions and the choices that they've made in this lifetime have a bigger consequence than just them losing status. That's the least of the worst things that could happen to them. Public ridicule by who? People who are going to move on in a week. But there are real consequences to their actions that if you look at it from a cellular perspective, then you never question karma anymore, and you never question whether it exists or whether it hits someone. In fact, sometimes you are the arm of justice. Sometimes it's not on the universe Sometimes you have to will shit, which is why I practice woo. Because if you hurt me, I want an eye for an eye, and it will get got. You won't get away with it. And then I rest assured knowing that you got your motherfucking karma. External. Again, celebrity tarot. Oprah is an Aquarius, and here is the star. The star card is the Aquarius card. Do you see where the Aquarius is, where the soul is? Because Aquarius represents the soul, freedom of the soul. Why is the card that represents the star, Aquarius, freedom and liberation, why is it inside what looks like a lantern? But this wouldn't be a lantern if the soul wasn't in there. Instead, it'd just be a cage. The soul is what lights this. But the soul is trapped in a cage, and that's what made it a lantern. For who? Her and her elites? Those are her gods. When Oprah prays, do you know who answers her prayers? The elites above her. Oprah was about to get taken down, but people were in place to insulate her. Did nature judge her? Yes, because a situation arose for her to pay her penance. But humans protected her. And humans fight against nature every day. That's vagabond activity. That's another story. That's the activity of people who are only humans because of the women that watchers had sex with and created their lineages. But a half human ain't a whole human. And that's who has Oprah's soul in their hands. That's who protects her. That's who gives her her abundance. But once her soul leaves her body, them people ain't gonna be able to do a goddamn fuck thing for Oprah. And she'll still have to deal with her consequences and her choices. She will have to. Know that, because being publicly shamed in front of people who are poorer than her, who are in poverty compared to her, or who have no power to stand over her and make sure that that happens, means absolutely nothing. Means absolutely nothing. All right. External energy for Oprah. Page of Pentacles. Oprah's still an asset. She's not in her heyday anymore. Oprah is getting older, and I think she's experiencing some health issues. This isn't just old people health issues. These are consequences. Celebrity tarot, these are consequences. Lifestyle. Celebrity lifestyle has consequences when you age. The treatments, the top of the line products and procedures. Don't envy the things that they gatekeep from us. It kills them. And it's not that they're too vain to age. They need more work to age gracefully because they age quicker. That Botox, if y'all can't stop taking it. You can't take if you stop taking Botox after having to take it, in my opinion, and I'm not a doctor and I've never taken this stuff, but it seems like you'll need some other aesthetic treatment to fix something that you stop doing. So there's always an alternative to a treatment once they decide to go clean from one. I'll just find something less, harmful to the body or something, but then they'll just go and. So I think Oprah has these issues come from things that she may have taken to help her with her weight. I don't think these are chemicals from surgery, Botox, and all those other celebrity boutique Treatments, I think these are things that she has done over the years, experimental, some of them, to help with her weight. I think she might have been one of the first to experiment with Ozempic before any other celebrity. I think Oprah's bones are brittle, and I think she has other health issues. But she's still an asset. She's still protectable. Hopes and fears for Oprah? No more charges. Interesting, because this means somebody did try to charge her. Her fear is that that doesn't happen anymore. Outcome. Trump tried and failed. The answer is no. Oprah will die as Oprah. If you're asking for a takedown, the Magician is a Gemini card. We have a Gemini Emperor, do we not? The outcome of her being taken down is Trump in reverse. That means he tried as soon as he got in the position to do so. He had all the resources to try her. I'm going to clarify why he failed. Look, all he can do is hit their asses up for money now because Israel stepped in. They said we was going to try to wait you out and see what you was going to do, but you got in there and did the most. So as soon as that first term was out, they sicked they dogs on him. Got a Biden term, and they used that to buy time to clean shit up and then try to take him down and pin everything on him. Make him the face of the Epstein files. But that bitch wasn't ever the face. Again, I saw the flight logs and some other of the documents within the files in the early 2000s, and the things that I saw made me go down rabbit holes looking for power players that I had never heard of at the time. Not celebrity ass Donald Trump, because he's always been a fucking celebrity. I think he had it in his contracts that if you film movies in any of his properties, like the Trump Towers or anything, I think it was rumored that he had to be allowed a cameo, which is why he was in Home Alone. That could be a rumor, but... Oh, y'all don't remember Trump in movies either? Like Reagan? I mean, I wasn't alive for Reagan, but... No, I was alive at the end of the Reagan era, but I didn't... Not to know him as a celebrity. Yeah, say it. Yeah, see, celebrity. That man wasn't no pariah until he tried to step up in the politics world, where they didn't necessarily think that he fit in or belonged. You over there. What is you doing? All right, the Magician in reverse, tried and failed. Israel, in my opinion, said no. What is you doing? What is you doing? What is he doing? This Trump guy, what the fuck is he doing? He went after all of them. Why? Because he hadn't done the shit that they done. He was actually trying to take down the black market. Now, did he ever benefit from it? Maybe. Is he now benefiting from the new sheriffs in town, the new rich tech people with all the money, the billionaires and stuff? Yes. New sheriffs in town. So out with the old black market stuff and in with the new gods. Old gods, new gods. Two of Cups here. Oh, our relationship with Israel. All right, in my opinion, Trump wasn't successful because Israel wasn't with that shit. And you know, Epstein isn't an American name. We can go down a rabbit hole, but I'm going to cut some things off that I could say. But you guys, that's that. All right. Tried and failed. That's what I got. This could go into another type of reading, but no. All right, third time's a charm. Anybody else? I'll do one more if you guys want, and if nobody says anything, then I'll go ahead to my members live and we'll chat. But Celebrity Tarot, I hope the perspective, SZA, line ass SZA. Okay. Oh, you quick. You quick. But you know what? I have been away, but I'm going to be explaining that to my members and my members only, because there is a testimony that I have to give. And everybody in the public chat, y'all don't care about, you know, that kind of stuff. You guys want the stuff, and that's fine. But they be wanting life lessons and gems and things like that. And first and foremost, they can call me all the witches they want, but I am a healer. And my magic comes from me having to live it, not learn it from anyone. Live it. All right. Line ass SZA. Let me cleanse my hands, child. I'm going to state this up front. I don't think I'm going to like SZA as a person, but that doesn't matter. I don't like none of these people. Why? Because they're beneath me. I'm a stan of people who are on the soul's journey. I stand people who are on the soul's journey. I don't care about none of these people because they're dead men walking to me. And at best, they're the entertainment. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know what people was talking about. Y'all was mad because Beyonce released that old song. I had never heard that song before, the Donk song, but it was stuck in my mind for weeks. Listen, I've always loved Beyonce's music. I ain't gonna lie. I can read her down, and still, there isn't really music of Beyonce's that I haven't listened to, expecting to like it. With that being said, I love that song. I love that song. I've read SZA before, and I think she's full of shit. And I don't like people that's full of shit. I think Lizzo's full of shit, and I think that's why they're friends. I don't like fake assholes. I'm a real bitch, okay? From the South. I ain't Hollywood like that. I'm a real nigga. Been that, okay? True to this, not new to this. 87, born, raised, in the hood, fist fights, all day, every day. You wanna go night-night, nigga? I come from the old world, okay? And I don't like that fake, just, I'm a fairy. Yep, bitch. Everybody's picking on me. I just a girl's guy. Listen, as soon as a bitch say they a girl's girl, I cancel that bitch like Nino. I don't trust you. I don't trust y'all girls. Mm-mm. 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 Yep. Sure don't. Sure don't. Sure don't. You know, my cousin just now told me that in February while I was out of town, she showed me footage. She was out of town, at a club with her brother-in-law and her husband's best friend, and he brought his cousin, which is a woman. They jumped my cousin's brother-in-law, and my cousin, who's a girl, had to get in there and defend him. It was recorded. I seen her snatching. I was so proud of her watching that footage. Mad because this happened in February. But when I seen her see her brother-in-law under a pile of niggas, and she came over there and was snatching them niggas off and shit, I said, I know that's right. And then I said, where was the bitch that was with y'all? And she just, and I said, oh, my crazy start coming out. Cause back in the day, I used to go to her town and beat up all the hoes that used to pick on her in school every summer. We'd ask to go for a walk, and her parents thought we was going on a walk, but I was going to go knock on some doors. As soon as I came to town, and this bitch, and she stay right there, and this, and say less. So I don't do fake ass hoes because my first question was, where was the bitch that was with y'all? So then we saw the rest of the footage. We saw her husband's home, his best friend, while she was slanging niggas off her brother-in-law. You see the best friend fat ass scurrying out the door. He ain't even look back. Scurrying out the door. She said the bitch that she was with left out the back door before she went to go and get. She said I couldn't leave my brother-in-law, so I went to get them niggas up off him. And I'm sitting here like, so that bitch ain't help you? You could have got beat up because when she pushed one of the men off of him in the video, he kind of ran up on her to hit her, and there was a girl in a crowd who pulled him back and said, that's a female. And the man said, I don't give a fuck. So he was trying to swing on my cousin because she was trying to push them. So anything could have happened to my cousin, and you was with some bitch that left you. So I don't like SZA because I don't like fake hoes, and I think she's one. But let's see. Am I asking anything in particular about her, or am I just Celebrity Tarot? Tell me, is there anything in specific you want to see about SZA? Hey, Diamond, or you just want to see SZA? Tell me where to go first. I don't like people who pretend. Like I don't like people. I don't like weird people like fake freckles. They say she says she never watched the TV. It just lie for no reason. I don't trust people that lie for nothing. Y'all never think about that. And now she gonna try to say it. Oh, it's all because I got autism, bitch. If she had said schizo, then that would make sense for me. Bipolar, that would make okay, bitch, because you be lying. You be weird lying. Like, no, I'm not black. No, I'm not African American. I'm Irish. Yeah. No. I'm literally both of my parents. Born and raised in Ireland. Me too. Yeah, my dad's, he's white. My grandmother's lily white. My father has red hair. My mother's got red hair but freckles. Me Lucky Charms. Yes. Oh, yeah. Uh, no, see, it gets hot. Oh, it gets hot over there a lot. And we be outside looking for me pot of gold. So I just got a good tan. Yeah. Bitch, that is weird. That ain't weird to y'all. She be lying like that. It's like she'll make tomorrow. Hey, SZA. Who? SZA. Who? I never went by SZA. No. No. I always went by XYZ. Who is SZA? This must be a practical joke. Is this April Fool's? SZA. Like she'll do a whole name change. Don't tell nobody. Just act like it was always her name. Like she'll put in blue contacts and No, my grandmama got blue eyes. Yeah, cause she white. Yeah, cause she Irish. Yeah, that's why my eyes this color. Like I know a girl. I don't have a Facebook anymore, but there was this girl that I went to school with. She had these babies, right? She had twins. By all means, I thought the babies were light skinned and that they had gray eyes. From the time she had those babies, the whole time she posted them, they were light skinned with gray eyes. One time, the daycare center that they go to tagged her. Okay? Because I didn't follow her daycare center, but I was friends with her. So if somebody tagged them in some stuff, it's gonna pop up on your Facebook feed. The daycare center of the kids tagged her. in a picture of the twins. And I'm where's her kids? Where's her kids? Bitch, them kids was my color. The kids was my color. And their eyes was regular brown. Not even as light as mine. They was browner than this. And the fact that I already knew that she put those filters on her own pictures, I overlooked that because she wears gray contacts. Always. And she's a red bone. But her baby daddy is dark, dark, dark. Bitch, when I found out that the same filters that she be putting on herself, she been putting on her kids since birth, that is weird shit. That's scissor shit. Chloe and Halle, their careers have been silent. I told y'all that a long time ago. And I had to block some newbies around here. Do y'all know just last week somebody came on an old video I did, somebody new, on a video I did of Halle when she got pregnant by DDG and wrote a paragraph. I just saw the first line. It seems like you're mad that Haley had a bit. Hide and block from my channel, please. I'm not even finna do that with you. How you done stumbled on my old shit and determined I'm mad that lady had a baby? I ain't got nothing to kid. Happily. Sure, Q. Are you in the membership? Cause I'm gonna do a members live and I'll tell you. I ain't telling all the regular people here. Cause they don't pay me for my gems. I don't get that for the free ski. But if you in the members live, I'll tell you. I'll tell you some good ting-dem. What you looking for? Because the only genre I read is real shit, okay? I only read that real shit, okay? I don't read no love shit. I don't read no fairy tale shit. I need that real shit. Okay. I'm going to do a members live after this. I want to know what really happened. I need to be educated. I read a lot of history and stuff so that I can educate my mind and stay up on how the enemy like to move. Because they move the same way. And when I read shit in the spirit, I like to back that shit up with facts. And let me tell y'all, they always line up like Oprah and Gail Panties. They always line up. So I just move confidently in these streets. If I say I see it, if you don't, I ain't worrying about it. You'll see it eventually. Because you guys are asking me about Halle and Chloe's career being silent, and I told y'all a long time ago. You guys might be newer than when I read them the first time and might not have gone through my archives, but the people was mad when I told them. People was mad when I said that what careers? And then I told y'all why. And everybody got mad, and everybody's still mad at Beyonce, but I told y'all this is business. And those girls are green as fuck. They give me a little touch by an angel. Are they talented? Yes. But are they built for the industry? No. No. If the industry was just pure and it only relied on talent, those girls would thrive. But because the industry is the industry, as soon as they got in Parkwood, what did Chloe do? She got a lollipop, put on a latex outfit, laid on her side, and start sucking a lollipop and calling y'all her Clover Kisses. After doing a pussy pop on a handstand in that Have Mercy video with her mama, Miss Tina, side-eyeing her in the window, doing the window roll down and then rolling it up on her. That was giving you old hussy. That wasn't giving shake that thing on the sidewalk, my girl, that give you old hussy. Chloe wanted to be fast and flip, so Beyonce said, go ahead. Y'all wanted Beyonce to support those girls. The best support that she gave them was to allow them to control their careers, because I'm sure those girls got in there and thought they knew what the fuck they were doing. I liked Chloe and Halle as a group. My sister liked Chloe and Halle as a group. Her young, under 6-year-old children, her daughters, loved Chloe and Halle as a group, but they can't get no more of that. My niece is deprived. My sister is deprived. Why? Because Chloe wanted to be a hot girl like her peers, and Halle wanted to be a baby mama by a streamer who took her through there and ruined her little image. And you know Beyonce is an image girl. So, bitch, you got one time to ruin my investment and to make it seem like you know what you're doing and I don't know what I'm doing and tell me you want to do this when I'm trying to make you a household name and you want to be a trend. You want to be a trend. And I got y'all in places where these hoes would never. But because it's a little boring, it's not popping on the blogs. But that's what y'all want. Okay, okay, okay. Like any smart investor, bitch, you won't get another one. You won't get another shot with me. You failed. I'm an investor. Yeah, some of y'all would hate working for me. Some of y'all would hate it because I'm all shits and giggle. But when it comes down to business, the business has to be right. And there is a principle. So if the business is right and we can agree on the business and get the prenuptial out of the way, then we good. But the business has to be the business. And Beyonce did not do those girls a favor. That is a business. And I don't think that she wanted them to separate that early, nor did I think that she had those images in mind, because those are stark contrasts from the type of work that they were doing before. Did Chloe perform? Was that a Dionne Warwick song she performed and sexified it? What OG song was that? She sounded amazing. It was some OG, older, older, respectable person song, and she sexified it. And she ain't been able to get on that kind of, that was a different kind of audience. That was commercial success audience. No, she went to pussy pop on a handstand for y'all. Did end up getting ran through by Burna Boy. And now you got to take Aaliyah's crumbs because Timbaland is obsessed with her. And now you're his next Aaliyah project. Girl, I read their careers, but I just gave you their careers. And I told y'all a long time ago what their careers was going to look like and why. Line ass scissor. Sad. It's sad. But I know a lot of girls like them. Full of potential, but green as fuck. And all of them were raised in heavily religious families because I got some in my family. And if it wasn't for my mama being the baby and being outside and saying and being outside, then bitch, I could have been one of them girls too. I sure could have. But no, my daddy, my daddy wanted to be a hitman. I had the feds. I had Fed issues. I was born into my town's what they would consider my city's cartel back in the day. Growing up, I had so much clout from street dudes who I had crushes on who would never. I never knew until I grew older why them dudes would never talk to me, but it was because of my family. And child, when I was 15, somebody that was a Fed approached me at a party of my best friend's daddy because he had a bunch of federal friends because he was a long-term firefighter and the police chief was his best friend and the fire chief. And a man approached me and had water in his eyes and was trembling and shaking and asked me if my last name was Blocker, and I said yes. And he went to stumbling and stuttering and talking about how he never thought that he'd have to face me this way, and now I'm looking like the fuck. And he said um, I was one of the people who prosecuted your father. And I stood there like, what the fuck do you want me to do with this? And he apologized because he said he never thought he'd have to encounter any of that man's children. And I don't know why seeing me affected him so much, but I don't know. But like, I grew up with shit like that. And for him to have known who I was at 15 and my daddy was prosecuted when I was 7, because I was telling my mom just this weekend, I don't think you really knew how long the feds have been watching all of us. For that man to approach me when I was 15, I never went to any of the trial. So it's not like they would have saw me in the courtrooms. I was a little girl. I wasn't going to trial. But no, we all have experiences of being watched and followed, the feds kicking in the door. They called us the cartel. 17 people went down between my family and they connects in Miami. Um, I don't know why I brought that up, but yeah. All right, SZA. I'll read Chloe and Hallie, and then I'll go into my members' lives. That's why I like fake bitches. Bitch, you don't know the life I've had to live. I got OGs. And my black ass daddy was the henchman. Scorpio henchman. Okay. He didn't sell the dope. What he did was got rid of problems. Got more time than the man they called the kingpin of the organization. Got more time than everybody. It's another reason why sometimes my members will hear me say, the feds be watching. Been watching since I was a little girl. Been watching since I was a little girl. And do you know at that trial, do you know how some of my black ass family members pissed them feds off by coming in there while they was on trial with their fists up like this doing the Black Power? All of them went down. They played in them people's face. One by one. One by one, they stood in the defense stand with their fists up, head down, fists up. I'm telling you. I come from a family full of defiance. They never played with these people. All right, SZA. Just a little insight about Beyond the Veil with Adina. Yes, they was on the front scene in the Rosewood Massacre. They lived in Bronson, and when them people came as refugees to Bronson escaping them people, yes, my family took some of them in, hid some of them, and armed, protected them, armed in front of their front doors. Like, let them run up in here if they want to, looking for y'all. We got it. Yes. Yes. All right, lying ass SZA with your Irish ass. Most High Mother and Father God, please allow me to conjure up the spirit, soul, and collective energy of Solana. I don't know her last name, but lying ass SZA. SZA the singer. SZA the yodeler. SZA the yodeler. My ancestors say, the yodeler. Don't say the singer, the yodeler. My ancestors don't know what that is. They don't consider that singing. So, y'all ate that shit up. Let me know all the shards are closure, all the shards are closure, all the shards are, and then let me know all the shards are closure. Y'all just mighty and dirty and mighty. Y'all just ate this shit. You want to know why y'all like that kind of music? It's because it's music that anybody can sing along to, and you don't have to have any technical vocal abilities. Nobody likes a song where a bitch is singing them down and they can't sing along because it makes them sound dumb. Who is this person calling me Black Mama? Hey, Black Mama. Everything good tonight, Black Mama? Let me get up out of here. All right, SZA. Please allow me to contract the spirit, soul, and collective energy of SZA. What's going on in her life currently? I ain't never read nobody that was autistic. I don't think I did, besides all of us. Trying to get a feel for her. But that lawnmower is distracting me. So please allow me to contract the mind, soul, spirit, and collective energy of SZA. All the stars are closure. Yeah, I don't use I'm a Pandora girl. I don't care for Spotify. I like Pandora. It's easier for me to use. I'm just used to it, and I don't care for Spotify. I don't have enough control over what I can listen to there. Only time I ever listened to Spotify was when I was running my own numbers up on my own Spotify music. Other than that, um, I'm not a connoisseur of a lot of people's music today. I stopped, really, really, really heavily listening to people a long time ago. All right, what's currently going on in the life, mind, body, soul, spirit of SZA, Lion Ass SZA? Um, that feels like a contract. It feels like a contract of some sort. I don't know if she has anything legal going on. Does SZA have anything going on legally? Let me Google her right quick. Feels like a contract though. SZA's a plant. Not really a plant. It's like, I don't know if she was expected to go over so well with the general public. I don't think if it wasn't for how much the fans really support her, that the industry would. Because I don't think but because you guys like her, I think the moment that people stop streaming and buying into the SZA would disappear. Let me Google her. SZA. Um, Solana Imani Rowe. That's a pretty name. She's a Scorpio. My crazy ass daddy is Scorpio. Oh, that's why I even brought up my family. That's Scorpio shit. Y'all know my daddy was a henchman, but in order to do that successfully, you gotta stalk your prey. Y'all know my daddy bugged my house so he could spy on me and what conversations me and my sisters and my mom and we might have been having about him or whatever else he wanted to know. Do you know he came and set up a laptop in here that he claimed to give to me, a laptop, but he set that bitch up and was listening in on us. And once I found out, I had to destroy the laptop. Scorpios can be creepy as fuck. Very obsessive, very possessive, very weird. My daddy weird as fuck now. He wasn't always like that, but he weird as fuck. I'm telling y'all. He's weirder than I ever knew he was. Hearing my mama and his brother, my uncle, talking about some of the stuff that I wouldn't have known as a child, man, that man crazy as fuck. He's crazy. It's crazy. And The last time I was live, I sent a message out to him because I know he be watching me. But you know, after this weekend, I hope you all right. I just hope you all right. Yes, I told y'all about him setting up that laptop and we be in here talking about stuff and he pop up with the stuff. Like one time my sisters was over here and my mama and we was like, dang, we hungry. But didn't nobody want to, we ain't want to go to the restaurant and spend our own money. And my daddy called my phone and said, y'all want to meet me at a restaurant of y'all choice. 5 minutes after we said that. That was weird, but then it happened another couple of times. I think I was walking around the house and I was talking to myself because I ain't had no bread. And I was like, fuck it, ain't no bread here. I ain't going to the store. Why he called my phone? Hey, mind you, he didn't live where I lived. He lived an hour away. Yeah, I was just in town and I just so happened to have a car full of I got a couple loaves of potato bread back here. You know, I dropped some off and after that, after he dropped that bread off, I took that laptop. Mm-mm, mm-mm, no bitch, no bitch. And we know that that's something that he would have done because when my grandmother was alive, she she's stubborn and didn't want to live with any of her kids when she needed help. So what they did was, since couldn't nobody live with her and she wouldn't move in with them, my daddy installed a laptop in her house to where they could watch her so that all the siblings could kind of log into her computer and kind of, you know, keep an eye on her. So crazy. Um, I don't see nothing on Google. Give me a second. What a dream I have, a song with this R&B rock and roll fairy goddess. I'm only looking to make sure that this isn't a legal situation because I know how to interpret this. But before I do, I want to X out that this could be something legal. They don't know how to espionage, but no, my daddy does know how to espionage. He does. But I'm his child. He has met his match with me. And that's why he can't be in my life because it don't go down like that with me. He's a Scorpio sun. I have a Scorpio descendant. So all of the worst parts of him, I seem to inherit as my shadow side. Nobody's stealthier than me. Not even him. Not even him. You know, your kids sometimes be the version of you that you couldn't fully reach, the potential that you couldn't fully reach. Mm-mm. No, no, no. He thought he can espionage, just not with me, because I see and know everything. I do. I notice everything, and I know him, so I know how he coming. I know he crazy as fuck, so I know what not to put past him. I'm sure he don't think that we know about the charge he just got. Well, I don't know if it was a full charge, but the eviction and hitting somebody upside the head with a hammer. Who fucking does that? Because he can't have guns. So bitch got a hammer. Just riding around with a hammer on his waist, ready to knock a bitch out. But yeah, me and my sisters, we know how to espionage. Okay, so we got our eyes on him wherever he at. Yes, Angel, we was appalled. We just randomly get curious and decided to search his name and look for any recent shit, you know, because we don't hear from him. So I wanted to make sure the nigga wasn't, You know, I want to make sure, I want to see if he dead. I look him up, child. A whole court of eviction came up at first. So we was like, what the fuck is this? And yes, we know how to access certain documentation. I'll just say that. Bitch, we got the whole tea. That he got evicted because he got into it with a man that lived where he was living, and he hit the bitch in the head with a hammer and tried to lie about it and say the man attacked him, and it was cameras out there. he was I was so upset and disappointed. And he has been, no, you need to hear this if you is watching, because you'll be stalking me. You need to hear this because I've been protecting y'all, both of my parents. I've been repeatedly disappointed since you, not for going to prison. I rode 20 years with you. You disappointed me the most after you got out. Broke my heart the most after I got out. Disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. And it's been breaking my heart because I had so much grace for you until the point where I ended up in the hospital for reasons that's only attributed to trauma. And I remember the story. I ain't gonna say that. Not on my public live because I know he ain't paying for the membership live, but it is my testimony to tell, and I'm gonna tell it to the members as soon as I finish SZA. SZA is an industry girl. I say that because in this day and age, the industry can manufacture great celebrities. Not that much talented, but they can manufacture great songs for them, a great image, a great brand. SZA is manufactured. All they needed to know was that some people, we can sell it. And I'm not saying that she's not talented to a lot of people, because SZA is, I won't take away from the fact that she's very popular and people love her music. I'm saying that the industry knows the difference between talent and between people who people like. They understand the difference in today's consumer of music and yesterday's consumer of music, which is why they can manufacture, because they know the formula. Before, you had to have talent. The only formula they can give you was your branding and your imaging and the push. But what you needed to get you through the door was the talent. And then they curated your brand for you. Now they can create the whole artist in a studio. If you guys are fans of SZA and you guys are honest, do all of you believe, and this isn't to come for her, but just to kind of gauge what I'm seeing here. If you do like SZA's music, do you believe that SZA is a great live singer? That's a genuine question. I don't think SZA, and this is me unbiased, because my bias is that I don't think she's a great studio or unstudio singer. But I do, because I have recorded music myself that I've written, composed, produced from start to finish, including my own backgrounds, including everything up to distributing it with TuneCore. Like a Chloe, I'm a Chloe. Everything from the ground up, from scratch. I'm saying that to say because I understand how the studio works. So when I listen to SZA, I don't think she's a great singer, because even with the studio stuff, because I know how technology could be used to make someone palatable. This gives me, she is an industry girl, one that was successful. This is a successful way to do an industry girl. Challenging the industry itself. When you're an industry girl, that means you're limited. SZA can only do, and she's tried to do some acting. She could want to transition into acting, but I don't know if she's going to get the roles. I watched that movie with her and Keke Palmer, and I think she played herself. And I don't think that she has the range. Um, that could be improved, but I think that SZA's a little pigeonholed in her career because without the studio equipment, touring, and stuff like that, I think that may take a toll on her and her voice. So she can't really be a heavy touring artist, I don't think. And I think she could be having some vocal issues. Why? Because I think that the way she sings is a little unnatural. And I think that in order to maintain that type of singing over a long period of time, as you grow older, it's harder to maintain singing like that. So I think she is experiencing some challenges right now when it comes to where next and what next. Growth. I think that she would like growth because music is not it anymore for anybody. The problem is that she's not naturally talented enough. That's her challenge. So she will need work. She'll need acting classes, and she'll need a lot of them, in my opinion. Vocally, I don't know if she's always been doing vocal training. It would be smart for any singer to always maintain vocal exercising and being vocally trained, but that can't make you the type of singer that withstands the test of time when the current trend is no longer the current trend. That's what we're facing here. The people who made SZA famous are growing up. Their tastes are changing. And because she's growing up, she can't be marketed to a younger generation because her vocals aren't strong enough to help her be multi-generational, like a Beyonce. Our mamas can like Beyonce. We like Beyonce, and our children will like Beyonce. Why? Because Beyonce has been able to maintain her talent for all of us. The children who like Beyonce today don't have to fall in love with her solely off of her old music. She'll drop something right now and she'll still gain fans from newer generations because her talent is multi-generational. Somebody who's manufactured, you're going to see them need to transition as their market and as they get older. Past position, 10 of Swords. SZA, David. That's justice too. David. Spirit said, David her. Spirit said, you make her be accountable since she won't. Now, accountable for what? Nothing. Because she, to our knowledge, didn't commit any crime. But did she have a relationship? Was she endorsing David? Yeah, she was. When all this shit was going down. When he was dating that girl. I believe him and SZA were working together in some capacity. I remember reading David. I won't speak for who the ancestors like. My ancestors don't give a fuck about nobody who I don't give a fuck about. Because I rarely judge people wrong because I don't judge people at all until I get to know them and determine who they are. And I cannot answer that question because that would mean that there is a unanimous verdict in the spiritual realm. That would mean their ancestors have to agree too. There's always going to be spirits who don't give a fuck. There are spirits out there who thrive through people like this. There's negative energies that love these people. Do my ancestors like Lioness SZA? No, because I don't care for her. We family, so we don't like the same kind of shit. We don't like that hoe ass shit. Has there been people that my ancestors told me to pull back from if I might have been getting ready to go in and let have? No. Never mind. No. And sometimes I don't say certain things that I hear in my mind that I know are not my thoughts. It's the spirits. Sometimes they cut up way more. Actually, 99% of the time, what I'm picking up in my spirit, it can go way, way worse. So I told y'all I didn't do the Lizzo reading weeks before she blew up in the media for what she decided to be known for today, and the line at the big fat Lizzo with, I kept hearing in my mind, and I said, spirits, I don't know what type of shit y'all on, but I'm not doing a reading titled Big Fat Lizzo. But that's literally what they were saying. Do a reading. And I thought, why Lizzo? At the time, she wasn't doing nothing. So I thought, why the fuck would I do that? And then why would I put myself out there to seem like a mean girl when I don't pick on people like that. But then, so then I got back to, nah, fuck that. When my spirits tell me to read something, I'm gonna read it just like they told me. But sometimes I do mince things because the spirits are raw. I'm reading to see energies. So I'm just going to get the honest version. And sometimes I temper it. I never did. I think I did read her in my members. I did. I did. Because my members was like, can you go ahead and do it even though you said you missed your opportunity to do it before, to predict it? And then I did it. And full of jokes. I suppose I'll release that. I'll make it public. I'll make that live public. Bitch, it was so shady. It was the shadiest reading I've ever done in my life. And I was gagging the whole time. Every word that came out of my mouth, I was ashamed of. Every fucking thing. I said, I don't know. I said, this must be one of Nicki Minaj's ancestors wanting me to read this because, bitch, it was so shady. Celebrity. I had to think about it, and I was like, oh no, now I remember. No, no, I ain't gonna forget it. I'm gonna release it. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna release it before I do the members live. It was so shady. Y'all gonna, now that everybody else has done it, then y'all won't feel bad when I say it. But had I did that reading before all Lizzo's, recent shenanigans come out, oh, y'all would have canceled the fuck out of me. Now I'm glad I didn't listen to my spirit when they told me to do it, but because y'all would have canceled me, and then y'all would have had to come back and kiss my ass when it came out. So that would have been interesting because y'all would have crucified me, but then y'all would have felt bad when it all came out, and y'all would have been like, she wasn't being mean. She was picking up on some shit that other people was gonna be mean about. I said, this has to be Nicki Minaj's ancestor that wants me to do this because, bitch. And I just had to let it rip because there was literally no way to work around it. Every fucking thing was. To summarize it, Lizzo is insufferable. And I think she's proven herself to be that. That's the summary of everything that the reading needed to say, was that she was insufferable. Hell yeah. I'm an antenna. I'm just an antenna. I'm just an antenna. And anytime you guys come to do readings with me, it's because either your highest self sent you or your ancestors. It's never a coincidence. Never. No, I'm just an antenna. And the clearer my signal is, the more energies I will attract. Why? Because I can hear them, I can see them very well. So, yes, I'm just a horse. I'm just a horse. I get mounted by spirits all the time. General consultations are $75 for 1 hour with me. We talk about whatever the fuck you want. If you're going to ask me to read any of your dead family members, those are necromancy readings, and those are 100. but all of my readings are an hour. And, well, no, I ain't gonna put that out there because then y'all gonna be expecting shit out of me for free ski. But I'm very generous with my time. If we're smack dab in the middle of something and we reach an hour and I feel like there is still a message for you, I continue. 75 bucks. We can read whatever you like. Unless you want me to do any necromancy, then it's $100. All right, SZA, David, spirits are clocking you. All the stars are closer. If you guys want to refresh your energy on this, on why I'm finna clock the fuck out of SZA in a way that she's never been clocked before, it's because when I read David, and I read hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people within year spans of time, on live and privately. But the fact that I be remembering shit when it's time for me to recall things, it's always a remembrance of the fact that I'm in your energy, and that's why I can remember it, because it's a whole totally different experience from my own energy's experience. So it leaves its stench on you. I remember reading David. I remember the outcome was the King of Swords because I was looking to see if he was going to jail. And I said verbatim, well, he's going to be the number one suspect. He's going to be the primary suspect. I could say that because it was a King of Swords. Now, what I also saw was a serial killer in the making. Not just your regular serial killer, the kind that you all stand. Celebrities are serial killers. Why? Because they do sacrifices. That's not a conspiracy. And whether they're writing your name on someone's altar or they're just willingly saying, I sign up for this job. And I don't even need to read the fine print because I don't want to remind myself of what this job comes with. But I'm going to sign up for it. And whatever it comes with, it comes with. As long as I can be successful. Sometimes it ain't even saying I need it to be my mama. You don't always get the choice. That's why I say I would hate for any of my relatives to become famous. I'm the only one I trust with that. And I do have celebrity relatives, but they were older than me. NBA, NFL, I ain't worrying about that too much. And yes, one of them got a body attached to their name. Not them directly, but fun fact. One of the very first reading I did on this channel, when I only had no subscribers here, was somebody from my hometown, because that case has been nagging at me since I was a little girl. And I needed to get that lady's spirit off of me. Very first reading. You guys will be scrolling for hours to get back to that, and you probably wouldn't care to because it was so long ago and it's not anybody famous. The person who unalived her is a part of my family, not by blood, but by marriage. I was with that person this weekend. Fun fact, that person's wife, who I mentioned in the reading of the murder of this lady, she challenged me. And when she did it, it was so left field because I was in my own world, minding my own business at my table with my family. And I wasn't even really twerking. I was just doing a little dance because it was a saxophonist. It was a 70-year-old's birthday party. So I was just doing like this, but I will say that I probably looked the best out there. And not saying that because I'm conceited, but I looked bomb and my outfit was bomb. You never know who's looking at you as competition when you minding your business. So I'm just sitting here with my back turned to this lady, the wife of this man who in my strongest. And yes, he was the primary suspect in this lady's unaliving because she was 8 months pregnant and he's been married. And it was known in this town that they was messing around, and he was military at the time, active military. Go figure. They could never pin him, but he's been the primary suspect until this day. Um, their son is married to my cousin, and their son played in the NFL. That's why I say he got a body attached to him, but he was a child. But his daddy made sacrifices for him. Nevertheless, when I read that lady, I didn't feel any better about that man's wife. Um, and these are people that I see when my family gets together because she knew what the fuck her husband did. That man was a cheater. They still talk about it. He been fucking and he got outside kids. But this was after she had made her ultimatum, and this is what my parents and everybody was talking about that the news wouldn't know. She had made an ultimatum. His wife had made an ultimatum the last time he made an outside baby. So here's this lady, and she's 8 months pregnant. They tried to say that the baby could have been this white man's that she was messing with. There were reports that she was last seen in his car, and she told her family she was going to meet him. Anyways, um, I read the situation. I don't see it for the husband or the wife because the wife knows, but she was living a good life, and they have continued to live a good life. Nevertheless, I'm minding my business. She's sitting behind me, and I hear, you want to challenge me? Bitch, I didn't even know nobody was talking to me. The first time I just heard it, but I kept it. You must want to challenge me. Then I turned around. It was that lady looking dead at me. I'm sitting here, huh? I still got it in me. I still can get up and show you a thing or two. What the fuck? Problem is she's sitting there hating. Why? Because she got a long history of hate. Mind you, these people is probably in their 60s. They my mama age. She got a long history of hating. Why? Because her husband always was philandering. And he was there. Maybe she clocked him, clocking me. I don't know. But all of a sudden, she talking about I want a challenge. Listen, I don't want no smoke with you. I don't want no smoke with you. Because you give me the type to where you will get your hands dirty too. If you feel like you want to keep, because now y'all done stepped into the bad side. Y'all done stepped into the dark side. Your husband done did this thing, and you have kept that secret with him. So both of y'all done accepted what y'all would do to protect y'all life and y'all little situation. So I don't want no problems with you, lady. I'm telling you now, and you don't want no problems with me because I'll get you before you get me. And what I did, the same thing I do to any elder. Show them respect. Because, bitch, you older than my mama. You ain't no challenge for me. What the fuck? I'm in my 30s. You was in your 60s. I don't care how good your knees is. Why is you challenging a young tenderoni? So you know what I did? I'm a gracious queen and a lady at all time. I said, no ma'am. No ma'am. I don't want to challenge you. No ma'am. I bowed to her. Because if you need to feel like you still got it, I'm going to give you that. Because I see that you got some issues within yourself. And what I'm not going to do is entertain them and give you or your husband no reason to get yourselves in a bind. Okay? This ain't that. And she don't even know that I done read her situation. She don't know that I do this. Bitch, I been clocked you publicly. You better leave me the fuck alone before I dig around and see what else y'all done did to stay clean. And yes, their son went off to the NFL. So I say that to say the sacrifices happen sometimes one way or the other. But because I have firsthand knowledge of, celebrities, I wouldn't put his name out there because you would know he's an athlete and he did play in the NFL, but he wouldn't have gotten to the NFL if his daddy would have went down for that. And they live a good life. They live a good life. They live a good life. SZA, I read David, and I talked about um, how he might have been feeling like if this sacrifice works, he'll get off. I also talk about somebody in the industry put him on to this, the sacrifice game. SZA, the only reason, and I was reading you down for being a freckle-faced liar. I was shooting the shits. It was harmless until I pulled this Ten of Swords, and then the scent in my nose shifted. The scent in my nose shifted, and then I started looking at this Ten of Swords and this Justice a little differently. SZA. Then I remembered you have some relationship with David. Did you guys know that? SZA and David pops right up. I don't even have to finish typing David. Alternative pop artist David experienced a massive career breakthrough when he was chosen to open for SZA on the second North American leg of her monumental SOS tour. SZA discovered his music and personally co-signed him, bringing the Fortnite streamer turned singer into massive stages like Madison Square Garden. Sounds like somebody initiated him into the industry ways because it calls him a Fortnite streamer turned singer. I didn't make that up. This is it right here in the AI overview. Now, did I read David and see that he knew what was required of him to get on, or he knew how the biggest of the biggest got on? Yeah, he knew. Did I see him being put on or finding someone that could tell him the ways? Yes, the fuck I did see it. Having this here in your past position, SZA, I'm not saying it was you directly, but I'm saying AI Overview said you co-signed him personally because he opened for you. So that means he went on tour with you. That's where he got his feet wet into the industry. That is when they make the sacrifices. And you know, you did say that all the stars are kosher and that everything is better on Saturn. And nobody except someone whose fate or their reward of life is given to them in this life because they've sold their soul. So they get the payment in this life. Only person who would say life is better on Saturn, because Saturn is a restrictive planet, it restricts you because discipline and accountability is required for the soul's growth. And then once the soul shows Saturn that it's done the hard work, then Saturn brings rewards. But it doesn't necessarily look like being a celebrity because you got to sign yourself away for that. They give you the money. So I knew then who SZA was then, and I knew the message she was sending. And that is a woman whose rewards are given to her. Her soul's measure is given to her in this lifetime. So life is better on Saturn. Because maybe, just maybe, my reward is here. And when I leave, I'm going to have to answer for some of the choices, the contracts that I signed, some of the things that I got into. I'm just going to say, SZA, I see David here in your reading in your past position. Future, the world in reverse. It says I usually don't say things. I usually try to keep my readings on a mundane level, and I usually don't give universal or universe ancestral messages to you. But in this regard, you will be snatched back. You, in the near future, are going to be SZA, but on a decline. Sacrifice not accepted. It backfired for David, backfired for you. And I don't know what that means, but that's what came out. Sacrifice not accepted. Worst thing that you guys can do is make a sacrifice and it be rejected. Because then the blood has to be accounted for. And if the energy that you sacrificed it to won't receive it, rejects it, that means you're left with the blood on your hands. David got famous for being a killer. Sacrifice not accepted. And I said this when I read him too. Sacrifice failed. Why am I seeing this for you, SZA? I keep hearing in my mind, snatched back, snatched back. Almost as if I was off to the stars. All the stars are kosher. But by your hair, bring that ass back. Well, where the fuck you going? The world is a Saturn card, SZA. Saturn rules the world card. Even though the 4 fixed signs of the world are here, Saturn keeps us confined in this 3D realm, in what we interpret as time and space, mundane 3D world, cut off or separated from the spirit. That's what Saturn does. Life's better on Saturn, eh, SZA? Saturn has you in its belly, not in a good way. You smell like fire and brimstone. Why am I reading you like this, SZA? I was expecting to see bullshit here, but no. No. The damned are walking around us dressed in the finest hair, finest clothes, the finest perfume. They go to the finest location, but they are damned. Imagine the dead being draped in what we kill ourselves to have a piece of, to look like them, but they're dead. I won't even say dead. The damned is actually what I hear. SZA, I keep putting my hand on the cards because it makes my hand tingle. And I was going to say, why do I keep wanting to judge you? But then I keep looking at justice here. SZA, you conjured Saturn. You wanted Saturn. And so that is what you will get. You will get Saturn. You will get Saturn. Y'all think that shit cute? Talking about forces of nature that are real? Crowning you. King of Cups in reverse. Punch. I know this because he came out in Nicki Minaj's reading when him and her were into it. King of Cups in reverse came up and I said it was Punch. TDE Punch. Why is he crowning you? Over you, hovering over you. That's her boss, right? So that's who made SZA. You're owned by the TDE crew, I guess, or Punch or whatever. I said she's manufactured. That's who owns her model right now. SZA, you and your boss. I won't say TDE Punch, but some man executive that's in charge of you, crowning you. has a weird relationship with you. There's a lot of, this is a weird relationship, but it's one. It's not like he treats you nice. I think he sluts you out. Do I think Kendrick is genuine? Yeah, I do. As genuine as he thinks he is. It's like when people say, do you trust me? Absolutely. I trust you to be exactly who you've shown yourself to be. I think he's as genuine as he can be per where he is in his evolutionary state currently. However, he's a celebrity, he's an artist. So will he make some sacrifices? Sure. But Kendrick makes sacrifices that he's okay with. There's really no evil in that. If you can live with it, where's the condemnation? I've said this before because I have some celebrity clients. I don't judge them. They be seeing these readings and they still call. They don't even be ashamed or afraid of me. They want the truth. And I give it to them. And I don't be judging them. Mm-mm. 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 I don't judge. Shit, if you know like I know, y'all start calling me, and now you're the power player in Hollywood. Because I'm going to tell you, you don't got to sacrifice shit to them people. Let me arm you. Let me give you some tools. Yeah, these people ain't that. They ain't that. Let me show you. They got y'all under mind control. Let me show you a little something. Yes. However, if you whatever you can afford to lose, then you can it ain't no loss. Kendrick is that way. And everybody should be. It's nothing wrong with climbing heights. Ain't nothing wrong with being a celebrity. Ain't nothing wrong with being wealthy. Ain't nothing wrong inherently with none of this. I pick a topic and I read to that topic, but that doesn't mean that that is how I sum up the whole of the person or the situation. I'm a little bit more complex than that. But there's nothing wrong with that, and sacrifice is required for everything. And I tell everybody who comes to me for advice on prosperity work, on all of that stuff, I have told y'all, I tell y'all the truth. Sacrifice is required. Everybody makes a sacrifice. If you clock into a job so that you can get paid, you're sacrificing your time and your autonomy and some other things. But nobody thinks that that's a evil sacrifice, except for maybe your children. They pay the cost for you having to go and slave at work. When you have children, they have to go in daycare, and they don't get the full benefit of having the fullness of their parent. They need a village to help because the parents have to go and work. Why? Because they want money. They want this, they want that. So everything requires a sacrifice. To whom much is given, much is required. So some sacrifices are a little bit more. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because to be honest, it ain't for everybody to be great. But there is a sacrifice. Not saying that everybody has to go and sacrifice someone, because that's a trick. That benefits nobody but the elites, because now they have something to hang over your head to keep you in line. And they'll let you into their club until they don't. And then you get tossed away. And then you find out that it wasn't the sacrifice itself. It was the ones who sold you the idea of needing to sacrifice to get inside of their club. You don't have to sacrifice to be an actor, but you want to be a famous actor. And if they are going to let you into the industry that they gate kept, then they get to make the rules. So, in that regard, I do think Kendrick Lamar is genuine because I think that he has boundaries. And do I think that he has needed the same sacrifice that every other A-lister has needed? I don't think any of them are exempt or a special cookie. But some sacrifices we can afford to pay. If I wanted to be famous tomorrow, I could. If I wanted that life, since I know what's required of me, I'll give you who I can afford to spend. And some people have asked me before, if you can do woo, why are you not a billionaire yourself? First of all, how the fuck you know what I got? Second of all, how you know what I'm getting? You don't get that overnight unless you're trying to get it from a person who's gatekeeping you. Spirits don't work like that. You have to be a vessel for spirit to use you. So if you have nothing to make you a billionaire and you go to the spirits, then they gonna use whatever you got, and that might be your cat, your penis, but you wanted it. We are the vessel. So spirits are not going to ask you for a human. Evil ones do, but that's not required to be great. But if you want to be in the industry, those are their rules. And so I say that to all the celebrities because it's a choice. And I'm not here to judge, but at the same time, always be aware that at each level, in poverty and in the elites, sacrifice is required. So make sure that you can afford what you want. See, I don't even judge. Still don't judge. Because all we have here is human activity. Just human nature. And it's never just black or white. I choose to sit in the middle path and then weigh things in the balance and then make a determination. And there's no emotion in the justice card, which is why I'm a Libra. Anyways, but SZA, I see a situation here with your label head. I think that you guys have had, no, this David? This has to be David. When's his birthday? D4. March 28th. That's an Aries. That's not him. That's your label head. I think you and your label head, you guys have had a sexual relationship in the past, and I think you still get slutted out. I'm gonna just put it out like that because I can't keep trying to find little cutesy ways of saying it. Since I think you get slutted out, not just by your label head, Drake too. I think you guys had a lot in common. I think you guys both like to fuck, and I think you guys made good music together. Studios, all kinds of bodily fluids are swapped around in those studios. And all these hoes be in there getting slutted out, and the niggas be in there getting slutted out. I think you've been slutted out a couple of times in the studio because, SZA, you don't have the talent on your own, so you need the support. I think you done got slutted out for a lot of your opportunities, and I think that it never mind. That's just, anyways. Current actions, industry, SZA, you give me made. You just industry. You're just an industry. You're just industry. You are industry. That's it. SZA is an industry. She's the industry. She's the industry. She's just the industry. She's just owned. And SZA, you do the ceremonies, don't you? You're in a little coven. I mentioned that little weak ass hoe coven before when you was into it with Nicki Minaj, and I said, oh, the little SZA coven, and I even said you and Lizzo and you guys and your stones and crystals and stuff. You guys do the white people. I said you guys do the white people magic because that's who you guys learned the stuff from, the Hollywood witches. And they're going to teach y'all the Wiccan stuff. And that's why your ass been snatched back by your ancestors. Your ancestors. You guys got a coven. I smelt you guys' coven before. I think you're in it. I think Lizzo's in it. I think there could be another couple of other Black Hollywood girls and some white girls too. Um, and I think that y'all do freak shit too. And I think that y'all call that freak shit sex magic because that's what they taught y'all. But y'all really ain't doing shit. The industry is doing shit. Because Lizzo, as soon as Atlantic don't got the money to put into her, your career is gone and the magic fails. So it's not the magic the whole time. But they sell y'all that so y'all can sell them your souls. That's the magic though, because that's real. Why? Because you signed a contract. Lizzo is a 4-time Grammy winner on Streamer University, being mocked and ridiculed. It wasn't the magic that got you there. It was the people. It was the industry people. You said, I'm willing to do the shit, and they said she's one of us. Let her in. And then they toss your ass aside like they do. But y'all deserve this. And sister, you deserve it too. I would like to say that David was initiated when he hooked up with you. He got the tea on how to do these things in a ritualistic manner. Was David already open to unaliving this girl? I do think so. But I think he always knew she was going to be his sacrifice. He hadn't just been put on yet on how to not just unalive her, but get the energetic credit for it. I said this when I read David. So I'm not only making this up for SZA because I'm saying some of the same things I said in my David reading, and you can go back and check it. And SZA wasn't brought up then. Wrong set of witches, wrong magic. And we're in a time spiritually of spiritual warfare. It's a spiritual battle for the life of real humans and faux humans. You guys are under the leadership of the faux humans, and they're the losing team. Their magic don't work. It ain't saving them. Everybody's looking for karma, but in these spiritual communities where they call us witches and they say we do evil Black people magic, we see justice and karma every motherfucking day. Every motherfucking day. So the justice is where they told you to stay away from. Why did they tell you to stay away from that voodoo shit? Because it's evil. So anything could be used for good and evil. But the problem is that is your Black ass defense mechanism. And they shit ain't stronger than that. I guarantee you it ain't. It ain't. The woo ain't. But sometimes the mind manipulations they play on a weak and broken people are. So the woo can't work right because the people are cut off from the woo itself and the spirits and the tradition of it all. But those who still got it, we see justice every motherfucking day. We see karma every day. So it's because everybody is under the spell of the white people magic. And it's only strong until you clock it. Black people magic, nah. You can know you done got fucked up and you still need help. That shit, you can literally unbind yourself from the the white people magic just by becoming aware of things, gaining knowledge, because that then changes you. We're closer to wisdom than they are. But y'all don't believe me. I'm telling you. But hold on. Y'all gonna learn something one day. Maybe not by me telling you, but later on when it's disclosed by the government and the science starts then promoting the same things I'm talking about and then acting like they didn't keep y'all away from it, I could be dead and gone and nobody will remember that you heard it here first. External to SZA, the moon. This is SZA saying that she now has autism. SZA, you have something else. Now, you actually probably could be diagnosed with more bipolar, but I have experience with bipolar that's deeper than just the medical diagnosis of it. I think that you are a hider, and I think that triggers what the medical community calls bipolar. Some people get that way because of a lot of trauma. SZA, this is Scorpio energy for you, like my daddy. It's just Scorpio shit. It's the psyche of a Scorpio. And this here is the scorpionic part of the moon card. The moon is ruled by Cancer, but this crustacean here, coming to snip snip, that's the scorpion. The dark side of the moon is Scorpio. No shade to the Scorpios, but if anybody needs an analogy of the water signs, Cancer, the ocean, the mother of the body of water. Pisces, rivers, streams, and lake. Scorpio, swamps. Water doesn't flow there, it stays stagnant, so there's always a lot of dangerous shit in that water. Sometimes you can't even see it until you get in there and you get bit. Alligator, eel, snake, anything, scorpion. And so she's a hider. Scorpios have a lot of secret psyche that works to their benefit as long as it stays a secret psyche. They work best in the shadows. Not all Scorpios, but this brand of Scorpio. I'm going to say the lower octave of Scorpio. They can be brilliantly evil. They make the best criminals. They make the best stalkers, like my daddy and hitmen. A hitman is somebody who has to stalk their prey and then be smart enough to get away with it. Yes, he did. My dad did 20 years in the feds, but they had to get him with conspiracy because they could not prove it. So they always do the conspiracy for when they can't prove things with evidence, but they just know that you were there. That's how they get conspiracy. So if we can't prove you with nothing else, we know you did, but bitch, at least if you was in the room, there. But they just didn't have the evidence. That is the type of Scorpio that Lizzo is, my daddy. And my daddy is a lie. He's a lie too. You think my mama knew? She didn't know who he was like that. Truly, when she was on the stand saying, I don't know, my mama was 9 months pregnant when my daddy got locked up, due any day. She was not outside. And my daddy would never have wanted her to know his business. Why? Because a smart Scorpio moves in the shadows. Quiet, stealth-like I do. You don't know I'm gonna hit you till you hit. And they hide a lot. They lurk in the shadows. They have a lot of secrets. They have an identity that nobody else might know. This is how people see SZA. So people clock SZA for what she is. Nobody's denying SZA. They just like her. They like her music. So that's comforting because this tells me that people see SZA just as they should see SZA. They just like her. And that's fair. Hopes and fears, a King of Wands. Who is this, SZA? This is whomever is challenging a new business endeavor. So you're going to need this person here on your side in some way so that you can maneuver or adapt in this industry. Because that yodeling ain't going to work no more. You need to adapt. This could be a movie person. And since I think you have to fuck him, I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, I think you gotta fuck him, but he might be a little out of your reach. Knight of Pentacles. Yep. Celebrity Tarot. You guys might not see it as a decline, but I will, because this is slowly but surely. So this tells me her peak is reached. Her peak is reached. Both of these cards are in reverse. The world is the culmination of life's journey, the end of the tarot. In reverse, some lessons you missed. So you got to do them. You got to do them over. And this is begrudgingly. You'd hate to be the Knight of Pentacles in reverse because he's already slow and steady upright. In reverse, that bitch don't move. SZA's not going to be able to evolve out of her handlers, the men who own her. She wants to. But I think her TDE guy, he has her under lock and key. It's the problem with being owned and being manufactured. You get owned. And when they say go, you go. And when they say no, you know. And this man, he owns you. He actually might like something sexually about you. He might have feelings for you that he can't. If this is TDE Punch, I think that they got some kind of weird emotional connection from him using his power over her to take advantage of the fact that she kind of is in the position to have to give it up and stuff like that. But I think there's something emotional between these two, and it gives weird. It's not like they're in love. It's like they're enemies that have some sort of connection with each other just because of their relationship, and it's been intimate. It gives love-hate. But at the end of the day, y'all actually, y'all go together in a spiritual way. If this is TDE Punch, and that's the name I keep hearing, spiritually, y'all go together. Y'all are equally yoked. Both of y'all ain't shit. Just liars. Her peak is reached. Whatever you, and I say that to say there's no more higher heights that she could go except for in music, but that is manufactured. Naturally, she knows that, so she would want to go explore other avenues, acting maybe. That's not going to happen because I think her boss ain't going to let her go. She would need to hunch a producer and have him favor her so much, and he would have to be more powerful than TDE Punch. So she'd need a white man or somebody in entertainment in the movie sector or TV sector that's more powerful than TDE Punch. And I think that's difficult for her because he sabotages a lot of her moves so that she can stay under his thumb. I don't know. I just read SZA's energy and that's what came out. So that's that with that. I was supposed to be in my members live. Members, I'm still going to go live with you guys even though I don't feel like it. But if y'all tell me I can redo this tomorrow, then I will. Because I done got tired and this went longer than I thought it would. And I'm tired and I ain't ate all day and I'm hungry. Now, you know what? I'm going to probably heat up the food and then I'll take a few bites and get that message out because I don't like to. We can do tomorrow. Mama Fakit said tomorrow. So members, I'll see y'all tomorrow. I will release. Matter of fact, I'm going to do it right now while I'm on live. Let me go to my YouTube. I'm going to do it while I'm here. So nobody can say I forgot. View my channel. Wonder if I have to do it from YouTube Studio. Yep, I'm going to have to. Okay, let me go to the YouTube Studio. I'm going to do it right now. YouTube Studio. Because I'm telling you, I done rolled up already, so I'm finna eat and smoke and go to bed, and I probably would forget. Okay. Content. Y'all know I never go into YouTube Studio or look in my analytics live. Let me see. I don't know. It's a live. And I might not even have titled it anything that has to do with Lizzo. So this is going to get tricky. Because I could have just been shooting the shits with my members. Um, okay, members, July 8th. Nope. Members, reclaiming history. It was members. Okay, I don't. Okay, it was before John Wayne Gacy. So let me keep scrolling down. Was it June 24th? No. This is going to be hard. Maybe it's the Hey Members Let's Chat that I did on June 12th. Hold on. It could be this one. Let me try to look at it. So it was a Let's Chat in the Members Live, and somebody did ask me to do the Lizzo one that I skipped. Hold on, let me go up. So that's what she's saying, and I think that her contribution to material had a lot to do with her affinity for African dark people. Knowing what the elites and their secret societies knew, and how that information completed and complemented. She thought, who the fuck am I reading? All of this shit is wrong. That was probably Nicki Minaj. And the energy in your life. Elon Musk is here. Elon Musk, okay. And it wouldn't help. It just create more chaos because it's not eliminating the noise from the data center. Oh, the data centers. Yeah, it may take. Was it 6 months ago? No. The big fat Lizzo reading? No, it was recent. Grande and her wicked co-star Ethan Slater, and because of the weight of all the other altars that she's had to. Ariana Grande. Girl is going down. Her health is failing her. Ariana Grande. Unfortunately, and I would never still pay top dollar for her, even if she looks sickly. Okay, so it wasn't that one. Bitch. It may take me some investigating. But that's the beauty of being a member. Because you just get shit. It seems like I did. Okay, I had to do a couple. I feel like it was before I did Take Heath too. So let me go down some more. Hey members, let's chat. June 12th. I did one on June 12th too. Let me check that one. Hey Neil. What we spent an hour talking about. Why she teased her hair so it looked nappy. What? Girl, she was over at Jamaica teasing her hair. Girl. I think it was this one, you guys. Cause I'm in here talking shit about Adele. Okay. Teasing her hair out in Jamaica to make it look kinky. What do you have to say from the grave? Oh no, who the fuck? I was reading somebody dead. Who the fuck? Company. Okay. The family relocated from mansion. You feel like a stranger in the rooms that you always operated in. Or SpaceX does something else. Some people fight right. Necessarily think she had to do to get there, but the reality of A-list superstardom once she arrived. If you take somebody with addictive tendencies to this. I look so tired, y'all. I was so tired on these. Cups in reverse. Is she gay? Is who gay? Did she just break up with someone? Is who the fuck gay? Who the fuck was I talking about? She just made a statement saying nothing's wrong with me. I'm fine. This is my version of healthy. But there are people that know her. No, that's not it. Yeah, I have to go through these and look and see if I can find it. Celebrity. See, sometimes I don't title things because I want people to just sit through my shit to get to the good stuff. So sometimes I'm playing Jedi mind tricks. And I definitely didn't plan to talk about it. Somebody asked me to. And who knows what we could have been really talking about and then just went off on a tangent. The Delectable Negro. I don't even feel like it was in June. It would have had to be May. But it was definitely after the Destiny Fulfilled ceremony. And The Price of Pride, Tasha K, definitely. So, yep. I don't know. It wasn't that far back. But I don't know what I was talking about in which one of these lives. It could have been after we finished talking about something that we were supposed to be talking about. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, I can't help right now, but I'll try to find it later on. Members, see you guys tomorrow. You'll have me all night. I won't go on a public live so I can give you my undivided attention. And until next time, love you guys. Bye.